All right, it's winter up here, middle of winter, and everything's broken. I've got two snowblowers because these things are a lifeline up here. If I don't have a good snowblower working, we're not going to be able to work or get out of the house. Yeah, it is just essential up here. So this is all working, tuned up and ready to go. This is my backup here. I just want to show you something real quick today. The snowblower shear pins. Here we have a set 1/4 inch by 1.5 inch, and here we've got 1/4 inch by 1 3/4 inch shear pin. These are kind of interesting things. It's basically just a pin with a little hole in it for a cotter pin at the end. It's got two little collars on it. The purpose of this is so that it will actually shear itself or break in the event that something gets jammed in the auger. As you can see, this design has two shear pins. This has two separate augers which are turning freely right now because shear pins are not in them. But this one here was a bolt. Shouldn't be a bolt. That one sheared off. Luckily it did. And then this one here was also a bolt, if I can find it right here. And that's what came out of there. So you can tell this one's all bent up, and you can use a bolt in a pinch, but the problem with it is that in this gearbox here, the input shaft coming through here, there's a worm gear that turns, and then a brass gear that fits onto this shaft that's held in place by a keyway. And that is brass. That brass gear is meant to destroy itself in the event that the auger gets jammed and the engine's still going. You destroy your engine if something in here just stops turning right away. Yeah, oftentimes these can get all bent up too, the actual augers, so you don't want that. So it's really important to have a shear pin in there, shear itself off to avoid bending your augers up and destroying this brass gear. Because if you chew up that brass gear, what you have to do is you have to take the whole snowblower apart. You got to take all there's a bearing in there, that shaft has to come out, you got to take the whole gearbox apart, and it's a big job, expensive too. If you want to avoid that kind of a scenario, use proper shear pins instead of a bolt, because you can cause some expensive damage to your snowblower. On this Yardworks 27-inch bucket, they actually have a place back here where you could store the shear pins, which is handy. All right, there we go. That's all taken care of. Ready for the next snowfall. Give her some choke.